Alagang Amoso, Associated Marine Officers and Seamen's Union of the Philippines. Ang programang para sa mga Filipino seafarers at kanilang pamilya. Maghahatid ng impormasyon, magbibigay ng inspirasyon, at tatalakay sa kanilang mga sitwasyon, kalagayan at iba pang mga pangangailangan. Alagang Amoso. Kasama si Camille Simbulan dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service at Radyo Pilipinas Radyo Publiko.
Magandang araw po and welcome po muli sa Alagang Amosup, ang serbisyo publiko sa radyong hatid ng Associated Marine Officers and Seamen's Union of the Philippines o AMOSUP at ng Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Sa programang ito ay pinag-uusapan natin ang iba't ibang programs and welfare services ng AMOSUP para sa mga miyembro at dependents ng ating union. Tinatalakay din po natin dito ang mga napapanahong issue tungkol sa mga karapatan at kapakanan ng mga magigiting nating Filipino seafarers or sea-based overseas Filipino workers. Ang Alagang Amosup ay napapakinggan din po sa flagship station ng PBS-BBS Radyo Pilipinas Radyo Publiko, 738 kHz tuwing linggo alas 7 hanggang alas 7:30 ng gabi. Special shoutout po sa mga miyembro ng Amosup at sa lahat ng mga Pilipinong mandaragat sa iba't ibang sulok ng mundo na nakikinig at nakatutok po sa atin.
Alagang Amoso dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service at Radyo Pilipinas Radyo Publiko.
Okay, just a quick recap. Ang topic po natin last week ay ang mga amendments to the Maritime Labor Convention 2006 agreed during the 5th Special Tripartite Committee meeting in Geneva at the ILO headquarters. Ang panauhin po natin last week ay si DOLE Assistant Secretary Leonard Constantine Serrano at napakarami po nating natutunan sa kanya tungkol sa Maritime Labor Convention at ano po yung mga isinulong ng Philippine government na mga amendments para po na mai-champion pa po lalo yung mga karapatan ng mga seafarers natin, lalo na po pagkatapos ng mga challenges na na-experience natin sa kasagsagan po noong pandemic. Siyempre, napakaraming Pilipinong mandaragat po na apektuhan yan bilang tayo pa rin po ang nangunguna na labor providing country in the global maritime industry. Okay, so muli maraming salamat po sa Department of Labor and Employment kay Assistant Secretary Leonard Serrano para sa isang napakagandang diskusyon po tungkol sa Maritime Labor Convention. So ngayong linggo naman po, nakakabata po yung topic natin dahil ang topic po natin ay kabataan, ang pag-asa ng industriya. Empowering Youth in Maritime. Siyempre, makakasama natin ngayon ang isa sa mga pinaka-nakaka-inspire na youth leaders sa maritime industry. Sa edad na 23, siya po ang naging pinakabatang na italagang Goodwill Maritime Ambassador ng Pilipinas sa International Maritime Organization o IMO. Aktibo rin po siya sa iba't ibang programa ng United Nations gaya ng UN Division for Ocean Affairs and the Law of the Sea or UN DOALOS, medyo mahaba, at UN Ocean Decades Early Career Ocean Professionals o ECOP. Dahil sa kanyang leadership at advocacy, kinilala rin siya sa iba't ibang mga international platforms at pinarangalan ng Royal Institute of Navigation at United Nations Institute for Training and Research o UNITAR. Napaka-achiever po talaga ng guest natin ngayong araw sa edad na 26. Let us all welcome Mr. Irene Bernard S. Balinis. Welcome po to Alagang Amosup. We are so honored to have you on the show.
Right, thank you very much, Miss Camille. I'm also honored to meet you and also your guests in our program. So thank you very much to your listeners. I'm happy to be invited and share some of the insights that I can share.
Okay, so kung di niyo po may tatanong ni si Irene po ay isa ring seafarer. Okay. So siguro po ikwento niyo muna sa amin, ibahagi niyo sa amin ano po yung naging journey niyo. Bakit kayo nag-decide na i-explore ang isang karera sa maritime industry? Talaga po bang pangarap niyo since bata kayo na maging isang Pilipinong mandaragat?
Sa totoo lang, Miss Camille, gusto ko talaga dati maging journalist. Gusto kong matravel ang iba't ibang mga lugar sa iba't ibang bansa. Pero sabi ni Mommy sa akin, masyado daw hindi lucrative ang profession ng pagiging journalist. So, pumunta tayo ng pagiging seaman, seafarer, kasi mas magandang araw po yun. But I realized naging seaman na ako, kaya ko pa rin palang magsulat, maging journalist. Naipagdudugtong ko ang pagsusulat tapos ang aking experience sa pagiging seaman, which actually helps in those nasabi niyo pong mga experiences ko sa UN. At least we're occupying a niche area na when it comes to intertwining the lived experience of seafarers. Kasi kapag pumupunta po tayo sa mga UN events, pag sinabi mong seafarer, they were scratching their heads. Ano ba yun? Anong ginagawa nila? And then you will have to explain, we're the ones na we're navigating the ships, that these things would have not arrived here had it not been for us. Mga ganun.
Okay. So, napakaganda na sasama mo lahat ng passion mo, no? So, ikwento mo nga sa amin yung experiences mo bilang isang seafarer muna. So, kumusta yung unang barko mo? Saan ka unang nagsilbi bilang isang, or yun nga, unang nakapagbarko? At saka, kumusta yung experience mo? Ano mga nationalities ng mga nakasama mo? Kumusta yung overall experience mo bilang isang seaman?
Para sa akin naman, ma'am, nagsimula po akong deck cadet sa isang bulk carrier, 222 meters. Ang pinaka-interesting dito kasi ang pangalan ng barko na yun was MV Genesis. So it's very liturgical, I should say, kasi di ba Genesis, first book of the Bible,
Biblical,
and it's the beginning.
It's the beginning, yes.
So I served there for 2 contracts until I was transferred into a general cargo ship. Tapos dun parang nadaanan kami ng pandemic. It was 11 months of being on board. Oo. So, okay lang, nakakapagod, pero at least parang doon na nabuhay ang dugo ko na ganito pala talaga ang pagiging seaman, pagiging seafarer. Tapos pakatapos po noon, nabiyayaan tayo maging third officer. Yun yung pinaka-recent kong contract. Third officer sa isang maliit na bunker barge traveling Germany. So, opo. And then, pinaka-last is this recent contract po naman. Sa ako, napunta sa general cargo ulit. So, bali parang nag-jump to every other vessels na po ako. Although, tigko konting months lang, good exposure na.
At least diverse yung experience
Opo.
mo. So, kumusta naman yung mga katrabaho mo? May maraming Pilipino din dun sa mga nasampahan mo na barko.
Opo, ako'y galing sa mga mixed crew. I've been with Russians, Ukrainians, Latvians, essentially Eastern European. Tapos of course, mga Pilipino. I think I couldn't have reached this far had it not been for them. Kasi they supported me. Ang mga kaartehan ko sa buhay sa mga speaking engagement, there was even this one time na syempre may talk, virtual talk. Tapos magmumuring kami. Malayo pa naman, may standby time pa naman. Sabi ko, pwede wait lang. Mag-interview lang po ako dito madali. So sabi ni boss, sure, sige lang. Tapos, yun, nag-interview with the IMO nung nag-i-start pa lang ako as a Goodwill Ambassador. So, yun. Afterwards, balik kami sa mooring. So, imagine, nasa dagat ka, tapos you're being heard firsthand by the people who are regulating the maritime industry themselves. So that's the goal of our goal right now, na i-bridge ang ating mga lived experiences as seafarers. Kasi tayo ang nakakaalam kung anong nangyayari sa dagat, tapos with the experience, with the expertise ng mga tulad nyo na nasa AMOSUP, who already has a voice in the ILO, na-mention nyo nga po kanina sa opening, na nagkaroon ng special tripartite committee with the ILO. So, yun. I'm happy that we are gaining the voice of not only the seafarers and the young seafarers as well. Kasi sabi nga po ng ating tema ngayon ay tayo ang future ng maritime industry.
Ayan, salamat. Nakaka-inspire talaga yung iyong passion, ano? Oo, at saka kahit nasa barko ka, kahit may mga challenges sa connectivity, hindi ba sa schedule, talagang sinisikap mo na makapag-engage with the stakeholders, with the regulators nga, gaya ng sinabi mo. At saka congratulations pala sa iyong promotion bilang third
Thank you,
officer.
ma'am.
Oo. At saka, gaya nga na sinabi mo nung una, hindi ba, isa sa mga dreams mo na makapunta sa iba't ibang lugar, iba't ibang countries. In-expect mo ba na yung pagpunta mo sa iba't ibang countries magiging kinatawan ka, official representative ka ng mga kapwa mo seafarers at hindi lang ng seafarers ng Pilipinas?
Nakakaya, pero thank you, ma'am. Actually, hindi. One way or another, it thrusted me. Tapos bigla na lang nagsasabi sila, why can't you join this one? Why not you join? Tapos, I'm already doing it. So I think yun yung may issue share ko, or masasabi ko na just try to do it. Kasi we will not always be ready as we want it to be. Show up. Kasi ganun din naman po ako nagsimula. So, nagsimula ako trying to be assertive. I've always been an advocate for competent assertiveness. Kasi may thin line between assertiveness and arrogance.
Yeah.
So, even though you're putting yourself out there, kung hindi naman siya backed ng competence, I think it will go out as something na you're just bragging. So, I think that's one thing that our youth in maritime, kasi I believe that seafarers do know things. It's just that we may be lacking the guts, the heart to put forward ourselves for the because we're afraid maybe, but we're seeing a change on that one, especially for the young generation.
Oo.
Opo.
Tsaka gaya nga na sinabi mo, kasi marami pa rin hindi talaga nakakaintindi kung ano ba talaga yung ginagawa ng seafarer sa barko.
Opo.
Hindi ba? Parang may mga pagkakataon kasi na mas alam nyo kasi lived experiences nyo yun hindi ba? And may times din na siguro may mga seafarers na reluctant to speak up about their experiences kasi they feel na bata pa ako. Siguro makikinig ako sa seniors. Kasi 'di ba may seniority, ganyan. So, siguro ang ganda na nakakapag-motivate ka ng mga gaya mo na batang seafarers to be confident na as long as you know that you know what you're going to say is backed by evidence, backed by your competence as a seafarer, just go ahead and speak up. There's nothing to fear. Hindi ba?
Actually, on that point, ma'am, no, we yield to your expertise, ma'am Camille, kasi nag-start ako with the Global Maritime Forum. Nakita ko ang pangalan nyo doon. Tapos sabi ko, uy, may Pinoy. So, it did give me the power, not really the power, but more like the confidence. Na if she's able to do it, you were one of the judges when I started in the essay writing of the GMF. So yun, so kung nakaya mo yun and then you were young, you're still young, not to get me wrong. But yeah, tapos it did cause an avalanche. So, a snowball effect. So right now, ma'am, I don't know what the future lies ahead. There are so many happenings in the industry with the decarbonization, with the digitalization. But if there's one thing I can say, not for certain, but at least in passing, us, the future generation, including you, in the maritime sector, including the shipping, the port workers, because when we mention about
The dockers,
yes, of course, they're also essential. We will be the future of the maritime industry. Kasi we in the Office of the Youth in Maritime, ang spelling ng maritime, di ba, ma'am? M-A-R-I-T-M-E. So, parang ang tagline namin, you cannot spell maritime without me. As in the spelling
Ganda
of
nun,
di ba? And our future generations. So, yun po. Happy ako kasi we're gaining the voice. We have you. We have the AMUSUP who are representing us as seafarers in the discussions in the ILO and in the IMO.
Tama yung sinabi mo na about representation, hindi ba? Na pag gaya mo, I'm sure marami na ring mga young seafarers na nakikita ka sa mga forums, uy, Pinoy. O, di ba parang, I look like him, he looks like me. Kung kaya niya, kaya ko rin. Ganon. And even yung sa mga women natin. Lagi kong, paulit-ulit ko dito sa show na to binabanggit yung mga kaibigan natin, sina Captain Jasmine Labarda, sina Captain Che Haveliana, sina Chief Engineer Elijah Chomi. Yan yung mga inspirasyon naman ng mga babaeng seafarers natin na Pinay. Tapos naging kapitan, naging chief engineer. Kung kaya niya, kaya ko rin, di ba? Napaka-importante talaga na merong champions, na merong tinitingala yung mga young seafarers natin. Na to, someone na where they can follow the footpath of that seafarer, di ba? Gaya mo. And so medyo mag-move naman tayo, no? Sabi mo kanina nung pre-interview natin, bukod sa pagiging champion mo ngayon ng mga advocacies related to the maritime industry affecting seafarers, you still want to pursue your dream of becoming a captain. Oo. So yun ba yung ultimate goal mo from the very start talaga, na maging kapitan? Meron ka bang inspirasyon before? May kamag-anak ka ba? Or meron ka bang role model na tinitingala ng isang kapitan?
To be honest, ma'am, I'm the first seafarer in my family. So, yes po. Trailblazing even in my own family. So, sa akin po, wala naman ganong tinitingala. But, my captain did tell me once na I can. So, kapag sa kanila galing, parang mas nakaka-motivate. And I think this also goes to the seafarers, especially the junior personnel. Kunwari mga OS na nagda-doubt sa sarili nila, kaya ko ba? Just try to take the exam. First, take your BS and then take your exam. Kasi, and then be courageous enough to put yourself forward. And please, as much as possible, try to garner recommendations for promotions as an officer. Kasi, sabi, para mabalik lang po dun sa tanong nyo kanina, sabi kasi last time ng German captain ko, he will be looking forward to seeing me as a captain na palitan siya. So, kung may ganong nagsasabi sa'yo na kaya mo, tas, I think it's trying to pass the baton of some sort. And then encouragement.
Mahalaga talaga, no, na may encouragement, na merong parang mentorship, 'di ba? Mahalaga 'yun eh.
Mentorship.
Mentorship.
Opo. Kasi, sige.
Someone who's guiding you through, 'di ba? Na umangat ka.
Correct. Kasi, sabi nga natin, floating community ang barko, tayo-tayo na nga lang, bakit pa tayo magsisiraan? So, yun.
So, maipapayo mo ba sa mga young seafarers na maghanap ng parang mentor figure on board?
Opo. So, syempre para sa mga kadete natin sa mga OS and other young seafarers, as much as possible, find a mentor. Hindi lang, it's not always the captain or the chief engineer, no? It can be your bosun. It can be your AB. Kasi who knows, they also have experiences that they can share. But probably it will be the other nationalities who will also try to help you, especially when it comes to communication. Kasi if you're already there, you'll be the ones communicating with the port authorities, tas mga customs, mga ganun. So kailangan mo ding mahasa paano makipaghalubilo sa ibang lahi, hindi lang sa ating mga kapwa Pinoy.
So, siguro magandang na rin na i-highlight na yung diversity talaga, acknowledging na there's really strength in diversity.
Correct.
On board.
Because diversity is not always about nationalities, it also goes to gender, na-mention yung nga po kanina. And other than women, we're also looking at the LGBTQIA+. This month is the Pride Month, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, correct.
And parang coincidentally, it's also the month for the Day of the Seafarers, this 25. There's a growing movement for the LGBTQIA+ in the industry, and I'm welcoming that. I think it's essential na we have to forgo of the idea that maritime is a male-dominated profession. That we're welcoming of various ages, various genders. Opo. So,
It's really good. Especially because we as an industry, we like to see more young people to explore careers in the maritime industry, hindi ba?
Opo.
Lalo na, mas lalo pa nag-expand yung industriya, ang dami mga opportunities na nag-open up,
Correct.
especially with the, kaya nang na-mention mo, decarbonization, digitalization, and automation of the maritime industry. So, it knows no gender, knows no age and race, talagang, it's open for everyone.
Opo.
No?
Kasi one of the parang sa policy brief namin ma'am sa Unitar one time, isa sa mga tiningnan namin is how will the maritime industry evolve, and then parang mag-move nga po sa shore. Tapos with that movement, mas hindi na siya brusque because the idea of the maritime industry has always been about labor intensive. And with the change, there's already this USV, unmanned service vehicle, if I'm not mistaken, in the UK, wherein it's like you're controlling it from the shore. So the other genders will be able to pilot it while they're in their homes probably. So
Yeah, it's very encouraging, no? Lalo na dun sa mga kabataan na hindi pa alam ano bang gusto kong gawin pagka-graduate ko, no?
Sadly, yun nga po, na-mention mo kanina, tayo ang largest number of seafarers flying in the world. hopefully it will turn out also na tayo pa rin masustain natin
Yes.
towards with this decarbonization and all the disruptions, quote unquote.
Yeah, and siguro okay din na magkaroon ng more information drive on what career paths they could take within the maritime industry.
Yes.
Hindi ba kasi mayroon pa rin gano'n na mindset na pag maritime puro mabigat na trabaho, pero yan gaya ng sinasabi mong share ng mga sophisticated technology na hindi naman siya talaga ganun ka physically intensive or challenging, no, na everybody could explore something within the industry. Magandang mas lalo nating ma-inform yung mga kabataan tungkol sa mga opportunities na mag-open up.
So I think we should also start not only with the of course, we have to start with the basic. Yung mga nasa grade schools pa lang, let's open up. Uy, pwede palang ganito, mag-seafarer ako. Kasi madalas, ang nasa orientation lang, I want to be a teacher.
Yeah, the usual professions.
So it's time also for the seafarer to be noticed. And I just have to add, in the UN level, they're discussing about ocean literacy to be integrated in the curriculum. So with that, hopefully with our government, can also integrate it in the basic curriculum.
Lalo na, kasi talagang maritime seafaring is in our heritage, mga Pilipino. Hindi ba talagang hundreds of years, even yung mga unang galyon, mga Pilipino yung mga unang crew niyang mga yan. So, kaya talagang malapit sa puso natin ang karagatan. So, maganda yung initiative ng UN na hopefully talagang mas makascade, no, sa education system natin, sa mga institutions, sa mga organizations across our country. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. So, medyo nagmamadali na ako kasi yung oras natin limitado. Hindi, okay lang. Sayang nga. I hope we can extend for another hour. Kasi dami-dami mong sinishare. So, siguro sa ngayon na lang, Irene, so bilang isang UN Goodwill Ambassador, before, and having been the youngest to be recognized as a Goodwill Maritime Ambassador, ano yung pinakamahalagang lesson na natutunan mo of how you can affect change in the global maritime industry as a Filipino?
Tough question.
Miss Universe question.
Wait, let
ano
me think
yung
about
biggest
it.
learning mo?
Okay. Siguro para sa akin, ma'am, kasi ito they were the UN, the IMO, I will really have to say thank you to them kasi they were very much receptive of my input, of my ideas. Even though after I stepped down. So, ang pinaka-learning ko is develop a good friendship, so to speak, with the people who do not burn bridges.
Do not burn bridges.
Opo. Kasi tawag mo dyan, one way or another, makikita mo sila. The maritime industry is big, but it's also small in a sense na makikita mo sila sa mga conferences, for instance, sa Safety for Seas, sa Crewcon, and andito ka na naman. The Secretary General, Sir Arsenio, we met sa Geneva. Then he said, "You're here again." And I asked if he will be in UN Ocean Conference. He will still be there because the IMO has. So, what I'm trying to say is, develop and cultivate. Not just start, but also cultivate. One thing I learned about stakeholder engagement, ma'am, kasi may project nga po kami with the Ocean Centers, na kailangan nating, hindi lang one time, big time ang pag-approach with our prospective friends. So, it goes with both as a seafarer, ang mga senior officers mo, still get in touch with them even after you disembark. It can be laterally applied in the diplomacy world.
Talagang relationship building.
Yes po.
Mahalaga.
Opo. In any industry, I guess.
Gandang share niyan, gandang learning niyan. Siguro kaya rin maganda yung career progress mo because you know how to get along. Get along with anybody.
Thank you. That's really nice.
Okay, so for the last question, ano na lang message mo sa mga nakikinig sa atin ngayon, lalo na yung mga bago pa lang sa maritime industry na maraming maraming worries, maraming mga anxiety. Paano yan? Baka hindi ako maging kagaya mo na successful or what should I do to
Opo.
be able to survive in this lalo na yung mga iba na
Opo.
siguro nahihirapan to get along with with other nationalities or may mga ibang challenges na hinaharap sa barko. Anong message mo sa kanila?
So, ang akin siguro, may kanya-kanya tayong paths. What worked for me may not work for you. But the maritime industry has different streams. So, kung tingin mo hindi na pwedeng maging seafarer kasi there are things that did not work for you, try to go to shipyards. Your technical expertise can also help. Be superintendent. Teach the young generation. So, or also like me, I'm now doing like consultancy work with the UN. So, yun. And sooner or later, your passion and then do not chase money. That's another one that I learned the hard way. If there are volunteer opportunities, if there are pro bonos that can actually expand your network, kasi sabi nila, your network is your net worth, diba? That's how I started as well. I did not try to chase the money, and sooner or later, the money will come to you. Chase learning, I think. That will be the ending statement I will have to say. Thank you.
Impressive. Thank you very much. Natututo rin ako sa interview natin with Mr. Iron Balinis. Thank you very much. Okay, so before we conclude the program, I would just like to, of course, promote the AMOSUP Contact Center or ACC. Telephone number 632-8527-8491 hanggang 98. Mobile number for Globe subscribers 63945-795-5345 and for Smart subscribers 63920-437-1496. So yung mga numerong yan po ay para lamang po sa landline. Okay? Hindi po yan nakakatanggap ng mga text messages. And if I may invite you all po to follow and like our AMOSUP official Facebook page and AMOSUP official Facebook group at mag-subscribe po sa ating AMOSUP official YouTube channel kung saan po natin ina-upload yung mga episodes natin dito sa Alagang AMOSUP. And for more information po about AMOSUP's welfare services and programs, pumunta lamang po kayo sa www.amosup.org. So, Iron, would you like to invite them to like any pages or follow you?
No, I'm okay, Mama. Just being here is already a win for me. So, thank you very much for having me. Opo.
Okay, wala kang page or Facebook. But you know what? If they search your name, they're gonna find out.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank
Iron
you.
Bernard Balinis.
Oh,
Okay,
po.
on LinkedIn, on Facebook because you're all over them. And on the UN pages. Okay, muli maraming salamat po sa inyong pagsubaybay. Salamat sa mga kasama natin sa Radyo Pilipinas, si Miss Susan Aison, Milo Junella, J. Arevalo, Hero Lucero, Erwin Tañano at Jerome Toledo. At syempre sa kaamusup natin na si Miss Lara San Juan. At maraming salamat po sa ating special guest na si IMO Goodwill Maritime Ambassador pa rin. Na si Mr. Iron, forever mo na hawak yung title na yan. Na si Mr. Iron Bernard Balinis sa pagbabahagi ng iyong kwento at pagbibigay inspirasyon sa ating lahat, lalo na sa mga kabataan nating seafarers. Pagbati rin po muli sa lahat ng mga miyembro at dependents ng AMOSUP na siyang inspirasyon ng lahat ng mga programa at serbisyo ng ating unyon. Atin din pong subaybayan ang programang Alagang AMOSUP sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service at Radyo Pilipinas Radyo Publiko 738 kHz tuwing linggo alas 7 hanggang alas 7:30 ng gabi. Ako po si Camille Simbulan at ito po ang Alagang AMOSUP.
All aboard sa talakayan. Palalimin pa ang inyong kaalaman. Alagang AMOSUP dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service at Radyo Pilipinas Radyo Publiko.